What is the best diet plan to keep your brain young? Forget fad diets that are popular for losing weight but have no scientific support for their use. You should try the Mind Diet, designed by scientists to focus on food groups that can boost your brain power and protect you from age-related problems like Alzheimer's disease. Today, I want to break down the foods to eat and to avoid on the Mind Diet and give you a free 7-day Mind Diet meal plan. Let's discuss. Welcome to episode 100 of Better Brain, Better You. Hello, I'm neuroscientist Dr. Ben Webb, sharing brain advice for a mentally healthy and happy life. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode, for what is our 100th episode on why the Mind Diet is the best diet plan for your brain health. Can't actually believe we made it to 100 episodes. And if you've been in our community from the beginning, thank you so much for sticking with us. Or if you've only just discovered Better Brain, Better You, you are very welcome. Honoured you've chosen to spend time with me for the next 10 minutes. So the Mind Diet is designed to prevent dementia and loss of brain function as you age. It combines the Mediterranean diet and DASH diet to create a dietary pattern that focuses specifically on brain health. And to get you started on this science-backed brain healthy diet, I want to give you a free 7-day Mind Diet meal plan. So you can download this free meal plan at ologyonlinecourses.com/mind diet. That's ologyonlinecourses.com/mind diet. This meal plan is the perfect way to introduce food groups into your diet that are really beneficial for brain function, but with very little effort. So it's my gift to you, so please do enjoy. So MIND stands for the Mediterranean Dash Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay. The Mind Diet aims to reduce dementia and the decline in brain health that often occurs as people get older. It combines aspects of two very popular diets, the Mediterranean diet and the dietary approaches to stop hypertension, that's the DASH diet. And many experts consider the Mediterranean and DASH diets as some of the healthiest. And research has shown they can lower blood pressure and reduce the risk of heart disease, diabetes and several other diseases as well. But scientists wanted to create a diet specifically to help improve brain function and prevent dementia. So to do this, they combined foods from the Mediterranean and DASH diets that have been shown to benefit brain health. So for example, both the Mediterranean and DASH diets recommend eating a lot of fruit. And fruit intake has not been correlated with improved brain function, but eating berries has been. So the Mind Diet encourages you to eat berries, but does not emphasise consuming fruit in general. There are no set guidelines for how to follow the Mind Diet, so I wanted to give you a guide to the foods the diet encourages you to eat and the foods that the diet recommends that you should cut out. So here are the 10 foods the Mind Diet encourages. Green leafy vegetables, so aim for 6 or more servings per week, and this includes things like kale, spinach, cooked greens and salads. All other vegetables. Try to eat another vegetable in addition to the green leafy vegetables at least once a day. So it's best to choose non-starchy vegetables because they have a lot of nutrients with a lower number of calories. Berries. Eat berries at least twice a week, and you should try and eat strawberries, but also blueberries, raspberries and blackberries for their antioxidant benefits. Nuts. Try to get 5 servings of nuts or more each week. The creators of the Mind Diet don't specify what kind of nuts to consume, but it's probably best to vary the type of nuts you eat to obtain a variety of nutrients. So olive oil, use olive oil as your main cooking oil. Whole grains, aim for at least 3 servings daily, and choose whole grains like oatmeal, quinoa, brown rice, whole wheat pasta and 100% whole wheat bread. Fish. So eat fish at least twice a week, and it's best to choose fatty fish like salmon, sardines, trout, tuna and mackerel for their high amounts of omega-3 fatty acids. Beans. So include beans in at least 4 meals every week. So this includes all beans, lentils and soybeans. Poultry. You should try to eat chicken at least twice a week. That's not fried chicken, lean chicken, grilled or oven cooked. And actually wine, the Mind Diet actually recommends aiming for no more than 1 glass daily That's because red wine contains resveratrol, which may help protect against Alzheimer's disease. But you should really note that subsequent research has actually shown that the damaging effects of alcohol on your brain probably offset any benefit you get from resveratrol. And if you're unable to consume the targeted amount of servings, don't quit the MIND diet altogether. Research has actually shown that following the MIND diet, even a moderate amount, is associated with a reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease. So when you're following the diet, you can eat more than just these 10 foods. The more you stick to the diet, the better your results will be. So according to research, eating more of the 10 recommended foods and less of the foods to avoid has been associated with a lower risk of Alzheimer's disease and better brain function over time. So the MIND diet encourages the consumption of all kinds of vegetables, berries, nuts, olive oil, whole grains, fish, beans, poultry, and a moderate amount of wine. So here are the 5 foods to avoid on the MIND diet. So butter and margarine. Try to eat less than 1 tablespoon daily, but ideally none at all. Instead, try using olive oil as your primary cooking fat and dipping your bread in olive oil with herbs. Cheese. The MIND diet recommends limiting your cheese consumption to less than once per week or none at all. Red meat. Aim for no more than 1 serving each week, but ideally none at all as well. And this includes all beef, pork, lamb, and products made from these meats. So fried food. The MIND diet highly discourages fried food, especially the kind from fast food restaurants. So limit your consumption to less than once a week, but again, ideally, none at all. Pastries and sweets. This includes most of the processed junk food and desserts you can think of. That's ice cream, biscuits, brownies, cakes, donuts, and sweets. So try to cut these out completely from your diet or limit these to no more than a few times a week. So researchers encourage limiting your consumption of these foods because they contain saturated fats and trans fats. And studies have found that trans fats are clearly associated with all sorts of diseases, including heart disease and even Alzheimer's disease. So the MIND diet encourages limiting your consumption of butter and margarine, cheese, red meat, fried food, pastries, and sweets because they contain large amounts of saturated fat and trans fat. And the MIND diet appears to work by reducing oxidative stress and chronic inflammation in your brain. So oxidative stress occurs when unstable molecules called free radicals accumulate in the body in large quantities. And this often causes damage to cells. The brain is especially vulnerable to this type of damage. And inflammation is your body's natural response to injury and infection. But if it's not properly regulated, inflammation can also be harmful and may contribute to many chronic diseases. So together, oxidative stress and inflammation are really damaging to the brain. And following the Mediterranean and DASH diets has been associated with lower levels of oxidative stress and inflammation. And because the MIND diet is a hybrid of these 2 diets, the foods that make up this diet probably also have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. The antioxidants in berries and the vitamin E in olive oil, green leafy vegetables and nuts are thought to benefit brain function by protecting the brain from oxidative stress. And the omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish are well known for their ability to lower inflammation in the brain and have been associated with slower loss of brain function. Research has shown that the antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects of foods encouraged in the MIND diet may actually help lower the risk of dementia and slow the loss of brain function that can occur with aging. The MIND diet may also benefit the brain by reducing potentially harmful beta amyloid proteins. So beta amyloid proteins are protein fragments found naturally in the body, but they can accumulate and form plaques that build up in the brain, disrupting communication between brain cells and eventually leading to brain cell death. And many MIND diet foods may help prevent the formation of beta amyloid plaques in the brain. So the MIND diet also limits foods that contain saturated fats and trans fats, which studies have shown can increase beta amyloid protein levels in the brain as well. And human studies have found that consuming these fats was associated with a doubled risk of Alzheimer's disease. But it's actually important to note this type of research is not able to determine cause and effect. So researchers believe that the foods of the MIND diet contain nutrients that may help prevent beta amyloid plaque formation a potential cause of Alzheimer's disease. So the Mind Diet was created to help prevent dementia and slow the loss of brain function that can happen with age. It encourages its followers to consume vegetables, berries, nuts, whole grains, olive oil, fish, beans, poultry and wine. And these foods contain many nutrients that promote good brain health, possibly by reducing oxidative stress, inflammation, and the formation of beta-amyloid plaques. Research shows that closely following the Mind Diet is associated with a lower risk of Alzheimer's disease and slower loss of brain function over time. So if you're looking for a way of eating that focuses on maintaining your brain health as you age, the Mind Diet is a great approach that's simple to follow. So as I mentioned at the top of the show, to get you started on this science-backed brain healthy diet, I want to give you a free 7-day Mind Diet meal plan. You can download this free meal plan at ologyonlinecourses.com/mind diet. That's ologyonlinecourses.com/mind diet. So thanks so much for joining me today for our centenary episode. And I hope today's topic on the brain health benefits of the Mind Diet was helpful. Here's to your brain health and well-being, and I will look forward to seeing you next time.